This is a black tag operation, so discretion, ladies and gentlemen, is critical.
All right, Huber. You got an early look at 007 First Light, first gameplay. We got a bit of a tease a couple months back.
Yeah.
Yeah, how much did you get to see? What was it like? What's happening?
Hands off. Always important to stress.
Yeah, this is a remote session, so you're watching a stream, basically. Yep,
exactly.
With the developers.
Yeah, not even in the same room with them. So just over the internet, about a 15-plus minute video. There was a moment or two in the video that was edited for, pace and time and all that. But basically, first of all, it looked really good. Second of all, just shout out to GoldenEye on N64, one of the greatest games ever made. Shout out to Bond in general. Really fun franchise. And, more than one good game, too. They had, Bloodstone, which was really fun. One of the other Pierce Brosnan ones was fun. But it's been a minute, and now we're getting First Light from the Hitman devs. And I did feel some of that Hitman DNA. We'll get into that. Mm-hmm. But basically it starts with them in the car, and it's 007 and, his handlers. He's a rookie, and he's being treated as such very, very early in his career. And
do you get a sense of, how that comes across? Does it come, does he feel bratty or anything weird like that?
He wants to do more. He wants to prove himself. Yeah, he follows orders and their leads to a degree, but we'll get into that too. He definitely wants to do more. So basically their mission, they're going to this big chateau, and they're looking for 009, who's gone rogue. And 009, even though it's a higher number, 009 is a veteran 00, and legendary 00, and they're looking for 009. Bond is basically the chauffeur, and his crew goes inside, and he's just supposed to wait by the car. Wait here, Bond. You are a straight up rookie. You're just the driver. The game is going to feature linear moments, linear missions, and big open spaces, which has always honestly been one of my favorite formats, Bloodworth. I think of The Last of Us. I think of The Evil Within 2. I think of Uncharted Lost Legacy. I like when games have linear story parts because they can really hit those story beats, but then also they give you these moments of really great freedom. So Bond sees something suspicious. He sees a chauffeur, or a busser, waiter person, dumping stuff where they shouldn't be, and he's like, "What's going on there? What is that all about?" So he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna follow this person." And they're like, "Bond, no, stay there." And he's like, "No, I'm going to follow him." So classic Bond going a little rogue. So he's basically trying to get into this house. And this was when they started kind of talking about their Hitman legacy of these big open spaces and the freedom that comes with that. So yeah, basically they had to get in somewhere that was guarded, and there was an open window above Bond, in this little courtyard area, but there's people around, there's guards. So he needed to cause a distraction. So he goes into a room and knocks something over, and then grabs a lighter, and then goes to this other area and lights this barrel of hay just on fire. So then they start moving around and freaking out. Then he goes over the rail, shimmies over, crawls a big pipe, and goes into the window. This part was not goofy, but they're definitely prioritizing fun over hyper-realism like they did with Hitman, where in Hitman you could really take advantage of the AI, and it's not super realistic because, he's like crawling on the walls there, and there's people like 5 feet below him. It's like they would clearly see Bond, but he's out of the vision cones. So again, prioritizing fun. It's fine. It's a video game.
What's
it's
that squeaking up there?
Sorry. Yeah. Squeaking? Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking about the man shivving above your head.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my chair is squeaking too. I'm sorry. They turned the water hose on too. That was kind of a distraction. So like interacting with the environment to cause distractions is going to be a big part of some of these open-ended stealth areas, I assume.
Did you see like disguises too, or?
Not that I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just wearing.
That's been a big thing. Is just like, what kind of crazy, weird disguises can we get into? And like,
totally.
Bond probably can't go as extreme as Hitman, but you would think that there would be some way that they would want to leverage that.
You're so right, Bloodworth. You're absolutely right. Of course, Bond's watch, huge.
Ooh, yeah,
part.
Gadgets. Yep.
He shot a little dart at someone. He had like the dart. They do have the laser. I don't think we saw that in the gameplay video. They just showed it at the end. They did like a little presentation.
Okay.
And they showed like
is it just like modern day, or are they trying to do a
Yeah,
period?
modern day. Yeah. It seemed contemporary. They were driving a muscle car, but everything seemed contemporary. When they get to the villa, dude, that part was cool, blood. When they get to this villa, it's all because there's some chess match going on. So 2 people are like in this arena and they're having like some full-on chess match. It looked very cool, very immersive. There's also like a kind of a detective vision, and they have like a little compass. And that's when they cut. So they cut there, and then they cut to him running out with another woman, third party, chasing down allegedly 009. So then we get a car chase, blood, and it looks crazy.
Nice. Is it like Uncharted style?
Crashing through everything, going crazy, going like off-road, going in. They're yelling at each other. Out of control chaos. So then eventually, after a long car chase, they follow them to an airfield. And Bond infiltrates this airfield. And what does he get, Bloodworth? From his superiors? A license to kill.
Okay.
So we get like license to kill pops up on the screen. It's like a big thing. Now we know we're guns blazing.
That's actually really interesting to like. It's like, no, you need to be stealth in this place. You can't just like snap a guy's neck.
Yeah.
And now, okay, take the gloves off.
Yeah, you have an official license to kill. So it's like gonna happen at parts in the game, which is cool. Cover-based shooting mechanics. Very Uncharted. I do want to stress, I got a lot of Uncharted vibes, which we're about to go into as well. So yeah, cover-based shooting. Lot of red barrels everywhere,
Okay.
maybe even more than Doom. I'm not even kidding. Like, tone it down with the red barrels. Too many. I love red barrels. I love shooting red barrels and blowing people up with said red barrels. A few too many. Just everywhere. Everywhere you look, there were red barrels. Yeah, so cover-based. You can, like, grab enemies to disarm them and take their gun. It actually looks awesome.
Yeah,
Go in. Oh, it looks so cool, blood. You go in, you like shoot them in the stomach a couple times, take their shotgun. The shotgun looked really good. Really, really good sound and impact. Enemies going flying.
Cinder City, take notes.
Yeah, it looked great, blood. It looked really great. Another really cool moment is because Bond is always like improvising in the most like sloppy, awesome ways, especially the Daniel Craig Bond movies. He like grabs an enemy and like rides them down multiple floors to land on them, like uses them as kind of a brace, which looked really, really cool. He threw an empty gun. You can do that. The gun was empty. Threw it, and then like that was when they did the cool melee, like disarm, took their gun, started shooting. Just really fluid everything. Fluid cover, fluid shooting, fluid animations, fluid set pieces going on. The plane starts taking off. So then he gets into a truck, one of those like plane trucks with stairs. So he's in this truck. Chaos. Cars are slamming in. By the way, his like transition into the truck was really weird and jarring. It was like a blink and you miss it.
Oh.
The truck like exploded at him, and he like got into the driver's seat and started driving.
Okay.
It was really chaotic.
Okay, make a note, guys. Fix that up.
yeah. It was. I was like, whoa, that was weird. So then he starts driving at the plane, and he gets onto the plane. This is all in real time, by the way. He gets onto the plane, starts fighting on top of the plane. So chases the plane, gets on the plane, fights on the plane, throwing people off. It's on the runway. It's taken off. It's out of control. He gets inside the plane, starts fighting people. Door blows open. By the way, when he's on the plane, classic Bond quips. They're like, Bond, what the hell are you doing? And he says, winging it. Great. So then he jumps in the plane, starts fighting, door blows open, throws people out, and then he goes full Point Break, dives out of the plane to chase somebody with a parachute. Starts fighting, boom, boom, boom. Demo ends. Crazy. It was crazy. So, yeah. There's going to be stealth and combat routes also. That was one of the other things they said. Like, you were talking about the license to kill section there. You can stealth maybe more through that.
Right.
But, yeah. Pretty wild blood. Looking a lot better than the first bit we saw. I was a little nervous the very, very, very first thing we saw. And then after getting to see this big gameplay chunk, mostly interrupted. There was, of course, a cut in there. But, extended gameplay chunks. It looked great. It looked cool. The shooting, the cover-based shooting and the red barrels seemed pretty last gen. But the effects and what looked like the feedback of the hits and stuff and the guns and the sounds all looked really crisp and new gen and modern and great. So it's just, we're just going to have to see how the shootouts go, because one of the most underrated things about Uncharted, especially Uncharted 4, are the combat scenarios that you're in. The unit composition and the environment that you are in when you are fighting the enemies. It's not just, wide open square. Last of Us Part 1 and 2 as well. These levels that they have that you fight in are so realized. They're it's more than just a square box you're fighting in.
Right.
And it's varied as well in those
there's
games.
just like, there's not a whole lot of games that do the thing well, where it's like you have a big set piece moment that doesn't just feel like, oh, I'm just holding right the whole time or something. It's like you really need to be playing even though all this craziness is going on around you.
Yes. So. Yeah, because it's one thing to have a big set piece, but you got to have the things around it to make it have an impact. And then we just have to see how those, Hitman-esque, stealthy, more open-ended missions are. I want to see how that all plays out. But I was really impressed with Bond himself. I liked his voice acting and his character and his quips. There's always a fear of them trying to overemphasize his youngness and his brashness, coming off cocky and annoying and stuff. But I think it's going to be okay. I think I don't think he'll be like that the whole game, and there will be some growth but he still gave overall he gave a pretty cool vibe.
Did they talk to you about a whole lot more like outside of the demo? Did they talk about like, I don't know, like romance options or
no, not
update on
too much
release
of that.
dates, or?
Yeah, just kind of like basic boilerplate questions, you know.
Yeah.
That was just when they told us about, you know, there will be stealth and combat routes, there will be linear and open world missions. You know, just talking about Bond's characterization, how he's young. So.
Yeah, another thing it kind of reminds me of is Metal Gear, right? Where you have like those big open experimental zones, and then you get like, just some big crazy, you know, thing to go through, and as long as you keep it, you know, tight and feeling like you're still involved, like that can be really fun. Yeah.
It was such a good variety, Blood. It was such a good variety of story cutscenes, like story beats going on, linear story stuff, driving, crazy chasing. The chase looked awesome. Like open environment, stealthy area, and then a big shootout, and then also a big set piece. So it was like checking all the boxes. You know, that is so many types of game there, but it really blended well together. Even though we had a big cut during it, still what they showed together blended really nicely. So, yeah. Good stuff. Yeah.
That's next year, right?
Yes. Yeah. So, a little bit of a ways to go.
Yeah. Plenty of time to remove some barrels and fix getting into the truck.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. A lot more optimistic after I saw that. Definitely. From when we first saw the game. Definitely my optimism has risen.
Sweet. Thank you for checking that out. Thank you to everybody watching this. We are Easy Allies. We're an independent media outlet. We do previews like this all the time. We just got a bunch of stuff up from Gamescom. I've got some, you know, a little rundown coming in from PAX on the next podcast. We had an interview with Austin Wintery. Check out everything we got going on. And if you enjoy what you see, go to patreon.com/easyallies. Chip in $5 a month. Help keep this thing going. Thank you again, and we'll see you soon.
Stay at your post, James. That's an order.
Yes, Mom.